Welcome to this synthetic data for forms solutions demo. In this demo, GenRocket CTO and co-founder Heisel Taylor will be showing you how you can set up a form inside of GenRocket. When it's a small form, that can be set up directly inside GenRocket. There are tools to set that up. If there's a large form at the end of the video, we'll show you how you would handle that. But in this example, we're going to be showing synthetic bank checks. And we're going to show how you can design the data using GenRocket test data cases. We shorten that to G for GenRocket, G cases, and how you can build load and negative and smoke and stress, all the different data necessary for your particular requirement, and then show how you can deploy and generate that data in this demo. Here we go. We're going to hand it over to Heisel Taylor showing you the demo.
So I'm going to our little project here called Check Image Demo, and I'm going into one of our domains called Check1. Check1 has a list of attributes that we actually want to use on a check image. Now, mind you, this could be any image. It could be any noun, person, place, or thing, which is what a domain represents. This just happens to be representing a check image. And now we're going to go to the image template. The image template is a little bit different because it actually has a form. And this is where we get to import up here. We would load in an image. And now you can take the different attributes that you have and you can place them in XY locations on the image. You can see that information down here. And you can even get a preview of what that data looks like. Let's just hit the refresh button here. So the nice thing about this is you're now at this really simple place where you can add and look at different fonts and things like that. You want to check it out for your check image and the preview. Then you can spend most of your time then in the cases. What we want to be able to do in our cases is create different ways we want to manipulate those images. So again, it's easy to go into a tester or a test data engineer to go into here and create their own test data case suite. Then they can create different categories of test data cases they want. What I've done here is I've created 4 categories: stress, smoke, negative, and load. Load is just simply, let's say I want to load 1,000 or 10,000 or do load of 25,000 or 5,000. And all you're seeing me do here is I'm taking the particular domain and I'm setting its loop count to a particular number. Sometimes it's already defined. Here, I think I'm going and I'm defining a constant of value here. And then what you're seeing down here is a command that you can actually run right there, which says the GenRocket test data case you want to run is the Check1 test data suite. I'm running load and I'm running load 1,000. GenRocket is using its own API. That API will go in and look at any domain. And within 30 milliseconds or less, it'll find all the matches and so forth. In this situation, it would have found Check1 and set the default loop count to 10,000. Now let's look at something a little bit more interesting, like we want to do bad dates. Think about the different things that you want to see on an actual check. Bad dates or bad money or a missing date, missing money, or missing signature. And any of those things, what we're doing is we're literally going in here and we are modifying a particular attribute. And in this situation, you're seeing using an eval case gen, and every 3 iterations, I'm actually creating an empty value as opposed to creating a actual signature. So not only am I creating a negative test, but I'm creating a pattern for clearly being able to see that every 3 iterations, I actually produce a check with that is actually missing a signature. And that's a good negative test case. Here's one where the pay is a mismatch with the pay amount. This one gets a little bit more interesting because now I have my check amount here. I'm specifying a random check amount, and then the pay of, it's actually using 4 different linked generators to actually create a slightly difference in penny amounts so that you're off by just a few cents. That would be another logical thing that you probably want the AI to be able to do, is saying, well, the signature amount here is slightly off from the dollar amount. Let's look at something even more interesting. So we have smoke and we have load. I'm going to show some smoke ones in a second. Stress, all I've done in the stress one is, let's say we want to do a set of permutations, and these permutations, what we want to do is we want to basically change the fonts or the size of the fonts or the loop count that we want to generate. This one's kind of difficult to see here, but this one should generate around 1 million images. So that one would be a good stressor. Let's look at smoke. Let's concentrate on smoke. So I'm going to actually run some of these. We're going to move the check amount, XY locations around so that we can actually say, well, people, they will put the money in a particular location, but we actually want to move where those locations sit. The XY locations of those values will actually change so that when the money shows up, it doesn't necessarily show up in the right position. So I'm going to go to the command line here. What you see over here is a set of checks. The images that I'm just showing from the 100 I'm going to generate. And you'll see the next run, the positions of the XY locations start to move. Let's go right here.
And this is where you're using one of the G cases, Heisel?
Yeah, we're using one of the G cases right here. So you see it. I'm running a check image demo, and I'm running a check one case, and I'm running the smoke test change amount XY. So we've produced our 100, and we go over here now, we'll see that the XY locations are moving around a little bit. Okay. There you go. So now the things are not necessarily in the right position. Let me go back over here for 1 second. What am I not showing you here? Going to my check one. Yeah, let me go to the image here. So what we did was we actually modified the check one XY coordinates. So you'll see right here, if we look at the check change X coordinate, change Y coordinate. I'm not seeing that one. One of the places over here, I changed the XY check amount. Here we go. So I've changed the X coordinate and I changed the Y coordinate. And I did that by just simply having a random number change the X amount and the Y amount. And I'm using those particular values that I created with those two particular generators to change the XY value of that location. Another one I want to do is I want to, let's say, change the color of the signature, because the signature may not always be in black, but we want to see different signature colors. So again, what I want to do is I want to be able to match a signature with a different generated value that will change the color of the signature itself. So if we go here, I'm going to go to the command line and I'm going to run the signature one. And the nice thing about this is I can set up any colors that I want, any colors of signatures that I want. And again, I'm not trying to run 1,000 of them, I'm trying to run 100 of them in this particular demo. And now if we come over here, we'll see that the signatures, not only seeing the fonts being changed because we're running multiple fonts, but now we're also saying we want different color signatures so that we can now test signatures or anything we want to test here, and even combinations of multiple things we want to test. So now the last one I want to show here is rotation of the images. Rotation of the images is done by going to back up here. If we go back to the main check image itself, go check one. For the check image up here, we have the ability to specify a particular generator, which can actually do rotation. And this particular generator rotate one, let me go down here. This particular generator right here is, right now it's 0 here because this is in my main, but when I go to the particular test data case, Go to the test data case here. I go to rotate, come into here. I want to go down to rotate. There we go. I'm using plus or minus 20. Okay. And that's going to rotate the image plus or minus 20 degrees. So we come back over here. And I'm going to run this particular one. And this was actually taking the physical image after the fact, and it's rotating. So GenRocket places the words and stuff on the image, and then afterwards, the entire image is rotated. And you could change that to any amount, but we're simulating here now a camera looking down on an image, and that image not being perfectly perpendicular or equal to the perfect size of the image. And now that image is being rotated. And I just want to go back 1 second here because I wasn't going to go back to the color image. So I didn't show that one specifically where the colors were being changed down here. That's the signature color. And all I did was I added a list gen, and the list gen has 3 different colors in it: red, blue, magenta, black. We could add another one, green, for instance. And now we'll get green signatures, come back over here, and we come to the command line and say run. Did I save that? Yes, I saved it. Okay, and because we're running this from our G repository will automatically look for updates on the platform. It'll make those updates in real time, so I didn't have to download or anything. The test data case, as you can see right there, is now looking for changes. It'll most likely find that change. Well, let me run the signature. There we go. Sorry about that. So now you see the green signatures there as well. All right, I'll hand it back over to you, Gar.
Okay, well, we want to thank Heisel Taylor for providing that demo. I'd like to summarize what you've seen. So GenRocket offers the ability to generate synthetic data for any form. Small forms can be set up directly inside of GenRocket. We've added some tools to do that. So if you're thinking about an ID card or driver license or a bank check, those can be set up directly inside of GenRocket. And if it's a larger form, there's a number of tools in the marketplace. One of them is on the screen there, PDF Generator API. And GenRocket can talk directly over that API. So you can set up that invoice or insurance form or contract, and then GenRocket can generate the data on top of that form using that tool. And then once that form is set up, you can design the volume and variety of data, as you saw in the demo: load, negative, smoke, and stress, and so forth. And of course, this data can be used for software testing, or the example we're showing here, where the particular customer who used this tool is a large bank, and they wanted to be able to do OCR, optical character recognition, a form of machine learning. And we were able to generate 10,000 bank checks in around 2.5 minutes. So very scalable platform. Thank you again for watching this demo.